It's a Saturday afternoon here in St. Charles, Missouri, and it's time for the season opener for the men's lacrosse season. My name is Dominic Kosher, and I'll be calling today's action live on the Lindenwood Sports Network. Should be a good one between the Quincy Hawks and the number 14 Lindenwood Lions. They just went over the starters in the national anthem. Key starters look like this for Lindenwood. Leonard Jones, you're going to be hearing his name a lot throughout the broadcast and throughout this game. What a talented player, can do it all on both sides of the field. Had big numbers last year. We'll go over those. In goal, it's Blake Nolan for Lindenwood, as he'll lead the way for the Lions in the back. Lions are wearing their white tops and bottoms with black lettering on the other side of the Hawks. and their golden/yellow tops, and then black bottoms. Quincy 0-5 last year, their first year as a program, and this will be the first ever meeting between the Lions of Lindenwood and then the Quincy Hawks. It's been 333 days since the last game for this Lions team that came back on March 8th, 2020, a win against Maryville. After a long layoff, the Lions are finally back here at Hunter Stadium, getting ready to start off the 2021 season. Jung's on the very near side in the middle for Lindenwood, Michael Miokic, and it's immediately won by Quincy. Here they come, first attack of the game, and it's a turnover. Lindenwood had the speed of Mason Morano to defend. They defended it well, forcing the first turnover of the new season. Lindenwood's head coach, Jim Lang, in his 8th season, assistant coach Jeremy Frost working beside him. On the other side, Quincy, Eric Ruppel in his 2nd season here with the Hawks as their head coach, came from Adams State University, was their associate head coach before coming here to Quincy. At the 30-yard line, now outside, a shot off the bar all the way back now to the 50. Lindenwood's first possession of the game already showing great signs of attack. A team that did not struggle to score last season, 17 goals a game. Here on the near side, Lindenwood has it now right behind the goal. In goal for Quincy, Sam Huff, a 6-foot sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri. Not playing too far from home in Quincy's season opener despite being on the road. On the far side, Lindenwood has it. They move it inside, and that ball nearly trickled its way onto the inside, but it couldn't get it in. Now the first shot is going to be the first goal of the season for Lindenwood. Andrew Haas, the 5'11" redshirt senior from Ontario, gets his first of the season and Lindenwood's first inside the first few minutes of the game. Andrew Haas, a player that head coach Lang has been high on, and for the right reasons as well, already showing off his attacking prowess and getting his first goal of the season. So Lindenwood already up 1-0 with 13:33 left to go. And the first, back in the middle, after a great start, is Miokic. Lindenwood 5-0 last season. Their last win coming against Maryville, like we mentioned, on March 8th, a comfortable victory there. Lindenwood has another possession. Haas, the goal scorer on the first one. As Quincy's back in defense again. Very far side, here's Leonard Jones for the first time today. Now behind the goal. Can move across the 20. Now low shot. That's a good save that time by Huff. What a season it was last year for Haas. One of the key leaders on this team, had 3 assists and a couple goals as well. As Lindenwood tries to pressure Huff and nearly force a turnover. As it crosses the 50, lots of pressure on the near side. One of those applying the pressure was Bryce Horseman. Now it's Lindenwood ball as they sprint it all the way across. Far side held by Horseman, a junior from Wildwood, Missouri. So, like we mentioned, Lang in his 8th season, a lot of success in the recent years. Last year, 5-0 before, of course, COVID ended their season and haven't played a game since then. It's been a long journey since that last game, and just being able to get back on the field and get back even to full practices. That shot was a good one from the far side, but it was a save again by Huff. Behind the goal, Jones. Jones with plenty of speed, always dangerous. He's tripped up around the 15, lost his balance and lost the ball. Here comes Quincy. Had the very first possession of the game, as it was a good chance for Morano. But he ended up losing the ball at the end of it and gave the ball back to Lindenwood. Now it's behind the goal, bit of a loose pass, and now collected. Good spin move as Preston Willman, he tries to make a first move of the game for Quincy. Yet to have a shot on Lindenwood's goalkeeper today, Nolan. Nolan in goal for Lindenwood, the 5'11" sophomore from Cary, Illinois. Last season, played in 2 games, allowed just 3 goals in those 2 appearances, as first infraction of the game comes on the near side against Lindenwood. 11-10 left to go in the first. Lindenwood still has a 1-0 lead, but will now be a man down. Going to the near side is Preston Borchardt. So good chance now for Quincy against the number 14 team in the nation. Quincy, like we mentioned, a relatively new program, went 0-5 last year in their very first year. Trying to find their feet here and potentially get their first win. They have it on the near side with Morano. To the near hash mark, they move the ball around. Well, looking for that one little hole to open up. Now it's Morano again behind the goal. Pass it off. All the way to the near side. Nick Woodworth, another sophomore. A lot of young players on this Quincy roster. He's just in his second year. A loose pass goes all the way back to the 45, now collected by Morano. Good pass out in front, and it's the first goal of the season for the Quincy Hawks, beating Nolan for the first time today as well. With 10:35 left to go in the first, we're tied up at 1 apiece. So Quincy takes advantage of having the man advantage that time, and they are able to beat this Lindenwood defense that didn't get beat too much last year. On the season, just allowed under 5 goals per game. Ref blows his whistle after the faceoff. We'll have to restart. New player in there for Lindenwood as they get repositioned. Morano on the Quincy side. Jake Kirscher, a freshman from St. Paul, Minnesota, getting some of his first action here as a line. It's all on the far side. Here comes Carter Collins for the first time today. And here comes the shot, and it's his first goal as well. A late foul is called as Collins went down to the turf, but what a start for him. Hopefully he's all right as well. A little bit shaken up after the contact as the 2 officials will come to the 25. An immediate response by Lindenwood to retake a 1-goal lead. Collins is able to get up on his own power and walk off to the near side. Didn't take too long for Collins to get his first. What a player he is. He gives a thumbs up to Lang and the Lindenwood bench, and the line's already on the board to start this one. For the second time today, Collins, 10 goals last year to go along with 5 assists. One of the top point scorers all around for Lindenwood. And after the goal was scored, the infraction did come, and getting penalized for Quincy was Bauer Acoin, the sophomore defender, for that contact that came against Collins. It's a good sight to see him back up on the very far side of the field, right up and ready to go possibly get another one, but another man advantage. This time it's Lindenwood's. It's their first of the season. They were dangerous last year in just 5 games. Had 11 goals with a man advantage. Off the draw, Lindenwood has a possession and lots of numbers the other way. Good work that time by Kirscher. Collins gives it off to Jones, and Jones all the way across to the near side. Leonard Jones, 11 goals last year. One of the top tallies on the team overall. That was 3rd. Collins right behind him and 4th with those 10 we mentioned. Already has his first. We'll see if Jones can get one as well. Left-handed shot. Nope, pass it off. Now here's Jones. To the near side. Good ball movement again by Lindenwood. Always looking dangerous every time they have a possession over on to the far end of the field. Lindenwood has it again. with Rob Tucker. Jones. Collins. Collins line drive shot. Excellent save that time by Sam Huff. So Quincy will take some time off of this opportunity. 9 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. Linwood has a 2-1 lead. Far side, lots of pressure applied in the far corner. 2 Lions on the defender as he finally escapes the pressure on the attacking side. Quincy has it. Good work by them. Bit of contact at the 25. Route that lets them play on good physical contact from both sides, but Jamie Brain, who scored the first goal of the season for Quincy earlier on, to make it a 1-1 game. Now we'll have to watch it on the near side. Good possession by him. However, it takes some time off the clock trying to get a coin back onto the field. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the first. 2-1 Lindenwood lead, as they simply cannot get the ball out of the hands of the Hawks, and they kill it off. Good work by them this time. As sprinting back on is Morano. Now the shot, save made by Nolan. We've seen some good play in the back so far. Now 8 minutes left to go in the first. Lions have it again. Last goal scored by Collins. Again, their first one of the season was scored earlier on in the game by Andrew Haas. Now it's all the way back. Didn't start the game, but Horseman's making an impact, the midfielder. He has it now on the near side. Across the 30 he goes. Good move to his right side. Lines up a shot. That one just wide and goes all the way to the far corner. Still remains with Lindenwood. 47 seconds left to go on the shot clock as Lions have possession. Here comes Jones. Jones attracts some attention to him. Gets it on his left side. Low driven shot. Looks like it took a deflection, but Lions are able to pick it right back up. Now it's behind the goal. 7:23. Lindenwood trying to take their first 2-goal advantage of the game, and that was a high pass intended all the way on the near side for Horseman, and Lindenwood turns it over. Quincy tried to move quickly that time. Nothing to be had there. Smart play just to get it all the way back to Nolan. The Lions bench like the forced turnover. Fans in attendance for the first time in 2020 to 2021 for Lindenwood Sports. Obviously a great sight to see. Lots of students in attendance on the near side, and then fans as well on the far area. Again, this is Dominic Hoster on the Lindenwood Sports Network. 6:40 left to go in the first. Lions have a 2-1 lead, trying to extend it now. As they have the ball on the far side. The shot's a good one, and it's a goal. The third of the day for Lindenwood, and the third different goal scorer, as this time it's Corker to make it a 2-goal Lions lead. Nolan Corker that time with the goal to give the Lions that advantage, and a hot start for Lindenwood. Quincy was able to respond, make it a tie game at 1-1 earlier on here in the first, but after that it's been all Lindenwood after possession. After possession, they've made it a 3-1 lead. So good shot that time by Corker. Had the defender right there too, didn't matter. Still able to find the back of the net. Here's Jones, and Jones' shot. That one took a deflection too, like all the way back to Nolan. Now here's Morano. Both teams make their changes on the far side. Again, it's passed off by Morano. Can Quincy respond? Once more, after the second goal that was scored by Collins for Lindenwood, a penalty was called right after, and it led to being a man down. Lindenwood holding possession majority after that. Didn't give Quincy an opportunity to bounce right back as they did after the first goal by Lindenwood earlier on here in the first. High pass outside. Frustration that time for Quincy. Just couldn't move the ball that time. Leads to a turnover. Lindenwood trying to move quick up the field. On the far side, looks to be Collins. And Collins received a lot of high praise from his head coach. And Lang, what a player Collins is, does it all well for this Lions team. Head coach Lang called him one of the better midfielders in the entire country. And the last time we spoke, which was on the radio just about a week ago. Pass behind the goal. Lindenwood looking to bolster the lead. Good move past one defender. And they move it all the way to Jones. Jones quickly releases it. Collins always dangerous every time he gets the ball, but here's the most recent goal scorer, and Corker. Good pass to the near side. And now a spin. And they move it in to Jones. Tucker gives it off, and Collins' shot. Lots of velocity behind it, but it goes wide. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. 4:50 left here in the first. Jones all the way to the top. Perfect shot opportunity, and that time it's saved again by Huff. Huff making his impact early on. Huff played in 5 games last season, all 5 for this Quincy team. Started 4, allowed 53 goals on an average around 17. What a defensive play that time by Collins. We talked about his all-around ability. He's showing it off in this first quarter. Already has scored, and that time making his impact known on the defensive end. So Lions send out a couple more fresh legs, and Grant Glazier, a 6'1" junior attacker from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. Had an excellent season last year, too, like many other Lindenwood Lions. 10 assists, that led the team. The leading goal scorer, Jake Campbell, graduated. He had 15 in just 5 games, as he's now on to better things. Peter Covington, the leading returning goal scorer for Lindenwood, he has 14. Jung back out there, as Quincy has it. They escaped the pressure that was applied by Jones. Now they have to play it back. Bit of a loose pass, and losing track of it was Huff. And now the Lions have a good opportunity. Jones back, and that was a good shot, but just wide. Huff says, my bad, after the turnover that led to a Covington effort. That just missed the goal by a few meters. So 3:15 now left to go in the first. 3-1 is the Lions' lead. Last season, this team in the first, always dangerous no matter what quarter it was, but especially in this first quarter of play, averaging right around 4.5 goals a game. Right now they have 3. Jones has it. Back to Covington. A lot of capable players all around for Lindenwood. One thing Lang likes a lot about this team is their depth, as they've displayed it already with 3 different goal scorers. That time the pass a little bit loose. Trying to keep it in, but having to give up on his pursuit that time for Lindenwood was Horstman. Horstman already with 3 shots, tied for the team lead coming off the bench, one of them being shot on goal, also has 1 turnover. That time just couldn't get it. Morano, he's played with some acceleration and speed so far. That time a risky pass, but it finds its way all the way up the field. Excellent vision by Morano. 2:20 left to go. Can Quincy get back on the board? They haven't scored in quite a few minutes. Their first goal of the season, scored by Brain, assisted by Morano. Now it's behind the goal. Good pressure again by Lindenwood, trying to force another turnover. Falls down to the turf, and it is picked up by the Lions. So 2:04 now left to go. Collins and Leonard Jones received some accolades and recognition from the media before this season started, getting on the USILA preseason All-American list, which is the United States Intercollegiate Lacrosse Association. To take a breath before saying a name like that, and good acknowledgement for them to talented players who do it on and off the field for this Lindenwood program. So Quincy has a good opportunity now as Linwood had a penalty called on Jake Rusk. Last time they had a man up, Quincy was able to score with brain. Here's Morano, who assisted that goal. He tried to move it outside. Good deflection off the stick of Jung. And the Lions force a turnover. Now here they come with numbers. Collins is on the near side, running all the way to the length of the field. Now Jones. Jones cuts his way through. Might have taken deflection off of Huff. And the official blows his whistle to stop the play. What a chance that time for Lindenwood. Down and man. Didn't score with the man down all of last season, but had a good chance there. Still Lions possession as it's held by Collins. Collins with 1:20 left to go. Lions have a 2-goal lead, looking for their largest of the game. Collins to the near side. Good pass by him. Now it's Jones. Jones to Collins. Good spin move to his left side. That shot off the chest of Huff. Another stop for him. A couple saves already in the early going. Make that 9 through just the first quarter. Huff's been busy, but he's been effective. Has allowed 3 goals, but 3 of them are to be blamed on the goalkeeper. Now on the very near side, Lindenwood has it again. Under 45 seconds left to go in the first. Good pass backwards, and now Covington gives it off to the middle. Held by Corker. Corker's shot might have been another save by Huff. And Collins goes to pick it up. Lions have 30 seconds left to go here in the first if they wanted to try to get their 4th goal on this game. Covington, wide open shot, finds the bottom left corner, and he scores for the first time this season. And unlikely to be the last. Peter Covington makes it 4-1. Can't give a player of Covington's ability that much room to operate as he scores his first. Lindenwood's 4th with 21 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter. Lions have a 4-1 lead. Business as usual so far for the number 14 team in the nation. As we mentioned earlier, Covington, the second leading scorer last year for Lindenwood, has 14 goals, right behind Campbell's 15. The most among returning players, already off to a hot start in this one. He's looked dangerous on multiple occasions. That time he's able to finally get on the stat sheet. 5 seconds left to go. Quincy's pass a little bit high. And the clock stops with just 1 second left on it. Lions launched it up the length of the field. Good find and nearly found the stick of the player all the way up the field. That was Covington. So we have reached the end of the first quarter. It's 4-1 in favor of Lindenwood here against the Quincy Hawks. We'll take a break and be back with you right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network. We're back here at Hunter Stadium. 4-1 Lions lead at the end of the first quarter of play. Hot start for Lindenwood. They got the first goal of the contest earlier on in the game when it was later equalized by Quincy's and Jamie Brain off an assist by Morano. Ever since then, it's been all Lindenwood. They've had consecutive goals. Collins had the second one, then Corker, and most recently Peter Covington in his first. Andrew Haas had the very first goal of the contest. Lions with the 4-1 advantage. Dominic Kosher here on the Lindenwood Sports Network. And as snow starts to fall here at Hunter Stadium, it's a fairly cold night out in St. Charles as the Lions play their season opener. We mentioned they haven't played since March 8th of 2020, 5-0 season last year. Have finished over 500 in the past 2 seasons and 5 times since 2014. A lot of stable, consistent success for this Lindenwood program in recent years. So as the snow falls, both teams getting ready to start off the second. Morano wins the faceoff, and he'll have the first possession here of the second quarter, just like he did in the first. Morano already with an assist in this game. Has looked dangerous with the ball and his possession. He takes it behind the goal. Lindenwood's defender is Kircher. All the way back to the 40. Grayson Kwan, a sophomore from Canada. He holds the ball for Quincy. Good season last year for Kwan. He had 3 goals in just 5 games. That was the second most on this Hawks team. A Quincy team, like we talked about, 0-5. We're scheduled to play Lindenwood on April 11th last year. For obvious reasons, led to that one being canceled. Near side. Quincy has it, move it to the middle of the field. Kwan, that shot took a deflection. And a chance right in front of the goal, but it's stopped by Nolan. So the save that time, Nolan's third of the game. A good chance for Quincy right in front of the goal, as Kwan was able to move it in front, but they just couldn't find the back of the net. That's over to the near side. Corker to Jones. Corker takes a little bit of a shove. Now looks back, draw 2 defenders, and here comes a good effort, and that one's a little bit too wide right. Sprinting into the middle. Corker finds Collins. Collins, low-driven shot. Almost at his second. Collins, one of Lindenwood's 4 captains this season. Leonard Jones, Matthew Jung, then Brian Kahlberg are the other 3. Jones. Covington. His shot took a bounce. Rolls out of play again. Lions had 22 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Plenty of time to make an impact in this possession. About 13:05 left in the second quarter. In the first half, Leonard Jones' shot, an easy save that time. Good read on the play by Huff. Now 9 saves already for him. Last year he had a save percentage of about 52. Quickly on attack are the Hawks. Woodworth. He was looking to move it back, and another loose pass. Some early season jitters possibly for the Hawks. And some rust to shake off to go along with it. That time the pass just a little bit out of reach. It's happened quite a few times so far here in the first half. Still had that one goal, however. Brain's first of the season. As it's just a 3-goal game. A lot of time left in it for either side to continue extending. About 12 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's on the far side. Shakes off one defender, now moves it behind the goal. Covington to Jones. Haven't said Jones' name too much on the offensive end so far, but he was able to find the open man that time in Glazier. Lions move it all the way around. Good move on the near hash mark around the 25-yard line. Now outside again for Horseman. Lions have plenty of numbers in front of goal as Horseman's shot might have been off the bar that time. Good effort again by him as the shot clock resets, and the Lions have an extended possession on the near side. It's going to be held by Haas. Haas, the redshirt senior. Watch play go on now as it's on the very far end of the field again with Horseman makes one-man miss and takes the shot. It was a low driven one again, going down low to make the save. Was Huff. 4 goals allowed, but 11 saves for the sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri. He's got Quincy in it so far. Woodworth taken down. Plenty of contact that time between him and Jonathan Schlapper, as Jonathan will have to come over to the near side after that physical play. Still looks like a stoppage in play. 10:53 left to go in the first half. Score is 4-1 in favor of Lindenwood against the Quincy Hawks in their first ever meeting between the two programs here at Hunter Stadium. And we'll take it to a break. Lions with a 3-goal lead. We'll be back in a few right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network.
Throughout my life, it's always been family, faith, and football. My father taught me how to play the game. My brother provided me the blueprint. And my mother showed me how faith can be one's greatest strength. So when I tore my ACL as a high school senior, I always believed that I would roar back stronger than ever. And now as team captain, my strength stems from my teammates' faith in me. I'm Cade Brister, and the GLVC is me.
Barnes Jewish and Washington University orthopedic specialists understand the science of hockey. As team physicians of the St. Louis Blues, we use the latest research and technology to keep our Blues skating strong. Every patient we see receives the same nationally recognized care as our Stanley Cup champions. So when injury takes you out of your game, turn to the team behind the team. Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedics. Be treated like a pro.
We're back here in Hunter Stadium. A man advantage now for the Hawks, as Jonathan Slapper comes over to the near side, the junior. We'll let the watch things go on, and we'll see if Quincy can take advantage again. With a man up, they move it to the very far side, trailing by 3. Morano. Hawks moving all the way around. Lindenwood allowing them to pass. Now Morano thought about lining up the shot, pass it off instead. Now to the near side. Good ball movement again. Went to the stick of Kyle Richantra. A little bit of an open lane, but it was secured quickly by the Lions defense. Now to the far side. That shot is going to be saved by Nolan. Nolan moved it quickly. Here come the Lions. Man down. Still on the attack. Jones cuts it inside. Jones' shot lost the balance of it. Now here's another effort, and it's another save for Huff. It's been a brick wall in the early minutes of this one. Here comes Quincy. Ref blew his whistle, led to a stoppage in play. 9:41 left here in the first half as Lions have that 3-goal lead. And it looks like another line has to come on over. Alex Eubank made the most recent shot for Lindenwood. He's called for the penalty that time. They're going to say slashing. He's off for a minute. So Quincy again with an advantage. They move it over to the far side as the snow starts to come down harder and harder. It's supposed to continue snowing for quite a few hours here from St. Charles. So we'll see if it affects the play at all. Some lacrosse in the snow. Who would say no? On the far side again, they move it to Morano. Morano, lots of free room. Takes on a couple defenders. Good pass, and it's a good save. Again by Nolan. Had a clear chance right in front of goal that time. Was Rich Antra. He couldn't find the back of the net due to the great save by Nolan. We'll see if Quincy can take advantage this time. 9:08 left to go in the first half. Lions force the outside passes. Now they move it in between the hash marks. That shot will be knocked away. Good save again. It's Nolan. I've seen some solid play in the early minutes between both these goalkeepers in Nolan and Huff. That time just continued. Morano on the far side. He has it for the Hawks. Morano. Now Neil Dardis. Screen set. Frees up Dardis. He takes it towards goal. Pushed out of the way by Kahlberg, one of the captains. Excellent aggressive play by him. Off his knee is Eubank. We'll see when he is able to re-enter. Lions certainly could use him on the near side. Morano switches it to his right and passes it off. Quincy just unable to get any free opportunities at the moment. They had that one. But it was knocked away by Nolan. Still have it behind the goal. Looking dangerous again this time, but losing his footing for a moment, but able to pick it right back up. It's Quincy all the way across. Good find. Near side, that shot, another save by Nolan. What a first half for him. Just one goal allowed. Now 6 saves for him. So he's letting a lot of momentum to the Lindenwood side. Can they take advantage on the attacking end? 7:25 left to go in the second quarter. 4-1 Lions lead. They have numbers going into the middle, one of them being Corker. Jones. Jones moved it back, and Lindenwood resets all the way back at the 40. Now they go across the 30. That was a good play that time by Tugger. Trying to free up some room. Collins. Low pass outside. Gets to the right. Good shot opportunity, and that one just wide again. Corker looking dangerous. He already has 1 goal in this game, looking for his second. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Jones freed up from his defender, and that shot took a bounce and goes well to the right once more. Jones always being active on this very near side. He has it on the 20. Oh, it was off the stick. But he's able to regain the possession. He goes across the 30. Jones into the middle. Collins spins and shoots and scores. Collins, every time he gets the ball in his possession, you can always count on something special happening next that time. And a quick second able to turn around and fire it in, and nothing the defenders could do to adjust. Lions have a 4-goal lead, their largest of the game, with 6:26 left to go in the first, as they continue to roll here at home. Collins is second. They give Jones the assist. What a start for Collins. Already has 6 shots, 4 on goal, and 2 goals to go along with it. Quincy moves quickly on the other end. Lost the possession. Now it's picked up by Lindenwood. And here they come on the counter. Jones had 9 assists all last year in those 5 games. Already has another one tonight. Under 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Lions have possession yet again. They move it in, and it's another one. Lions score again to make it 6-1 with 5:45 left to go here in the first half. And ever since Quincy tied it up at 1-1, Lions had scored 5 straight to take the momentum completely in their favor here in the 2021 season opener. Bryce Horseman with his first of the season. Right now it says unassisted, but a good confidence booster for him to get his first. And Lindenwood 6th. So Linwood has the ball again. Jones with it. He was the playmaker on the second most recent goal before that one was quickly scored again by Horseman. They move it behind the goal. Lions giving some players rest, including Collins and a few others, allows fresh legs to come on, one of them being Andrew Haas. Still played significant minutes in this one. We got a little bit of rest too. Lions, free man in the middle. That shot, can't tell if it went in, but it looks like it did. And a penalty called right after, but the Lions have scored again. That time Grant Glazier was the one with the free opportunity on the near side. And if they count it, it'll be 7-1, and it looks like they will. 4:56 left to go in the first half. The Lions keep applying the pressure. Have to wait and see if they officially do give the Lions that goal. Right now it still says 6-1. As the official right in front of the Quincy goal tries to get everything figured out. It was a good setup on the play by Haas, who opened up the entirety of the attacking area for Lindenwood, and it freed up a man on the near side in Glazier, who, right when the contact occurred, found the back of the net. So we'll still have to wait and see. It looks like it still says 6-1. And it looks like it'll stay that way. So tough break that time for Lindenwood as they were able to score, but they don't get the goal. Zach Springborn, the defender from Minnesota, is the one called for the penalty that time, and he'll go over to the near side, off for pushing. He's off for 30 seconds. The Lions have good opportunity to get that seventh goal that they were so close to getting on their last shot. Now on the near side, it's Jones. Good read to Collins. Collins had a little bit of room, but it was closed down quickly by Quincy's Noah Gershman. Now back to Collins. To Jones. Fake the shot, pass it off, and a low-driven one goes wide. Lions moving the ball quickly and efficiently, freeing up shooting lanes once again. Collins in front of the goal, and Covington had a good look on the spin that time. Lions quickly move it into Covington again. That one a little bit low. Unable to collect at that time was Pete, and now it's behind the goal. Big pressure this time by Covington, and Huff just trying to accustom to it and is able to get it off in time. Got it out to a coin. Nervy moment for Quincy, but the sophomore was able to confidently get it out. Flag came down here on the near side on the 37. Didn't see what that could have been. As both teams make some changes. So it's 6-1, 4:01 left to go here in the first half. Lions have that 5-goal lead as the officials have a conversation with Collins here on the near 40, and still waiting to see what the official stoppage was, and it will be against Collins. So Quincy will have a man advantage right now in the possession of Morano. He was standing at the 50, and now he's told to move along. Quincy hasn't scored in a bit. A team last year that had a little bit of struggle scoring the ball on the offensive end, average right around 3.5 goals a game, as Collins was called for interference that time. He'll be forced to sit for 30 seconds. Quincy has it on the far end. Haven't scored since that man up early on with Brain able to find the back of the net. They haven't scored since. On the far side again, they have it. Unable to move it across the middle until now it's Morano. Dardis gives it off to Willman. Willman takes a screen from Dardis, which freed up the ladder for a minute there, but couldn't get the ball in his possession. So now it's on the far side again. They try some physical play. Lions defender is there, but he cuts his way through, and that shot takes a bounce and finds its way into the back of the net. That was all Jamie Brain, his second goal of the game. Has both of them so far for Quincy. So it's 6-2, 3:06 left to go in the first half. Quincy cuts the Lions lead to 4, and big sequence there in the past couple of minutes. Lions thought they had their 7th goal of the game, but the infraction canceled it out. And then a little bit later, Quincy's able to get back on the board to make it 6-2. So what a start it's been for the freshman Jamie Brain, coming from Monroe High School in Monroe, Washington, and immediately making an impact in his first game as a Quincy Hawk. Has looked dangerous from the get-go, and when he gets the ball in his hands, Quincy has been able to find the back of the net. Here's another chance, and that time it's saved by Nolan. Can he stop it again? Yes, he can. He quickly moves it up the field. Gets past a couple of lines. The last one there was Preston. Leonard's able to pick it up. Covington on the far side, and he'll just take it all the way behind the goal and let the numbers reset. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Lions lead cut down to 4. Looking to regain that 5-goal advantage as they have it on the near end. Leonard Jones comes back to support at the 25, and that's where he gets it and goes back to Collins. Collins, team leader with 2 goals already. Corker. Lions moving a little bit slower on this one. As a screen set for Jones. Gives him just a little bit of free room. And Huff was able to make the save. That's all you need to do is create a play to give Jones that little bit of sliver of space. And you all know what he can do with it. Now he's in defense. Quincy looking for another response. They've scored the most recent goal in the game through Jamie Brain. Now it's Morano. Good burst of speed so far. Morano, that engine doesn't tire as that shot was a high one, but it's stopped again by Nolan. Getting free in the middle was Wellman. But Nolan was not to be beaten that time. Here comes Collins. Collins to the far side. Now all the way back. Just about a minute left to go here in the second quarter as Lindenwood will take their time, and they can take nearly all the first half time off the clock if they want to. As that ball rolls and Covington picks it up with no pressure. Covington. Good find into the middle. Horseman moves it back, and it's back into the possession of Corker. 30 seconds left to go. Big burst of speed all the way into the middle. Can he take on everyone? Lost it at the last second. It was Glazier diving down. But he just lost it. 15 seconds left to go. Quincy, they turn it over. Great read by Covington, and now a late whistle was blown, and frustration that time for Lindenwood. Covington with the interception. He would have had a free opportunity, or at least one line would have, if the whistle wasn't blown. So 10 seconds left. Have to wait and see what the call is. Jones comes over to the near side. We'll see if it was against him. It's a turnover again for the Hawks. That's their 13th of the game compared to Lindenwood's 6. So both teams now get a chance to rest and figure out what's in store in these final 10 seconds of play. So that timeout was called by the Lions and Lang. Lang last year guided the team to a 5-0 start. And 2019 also started 5-0, but they matched their best start in program history, winning each of their first 5 games, including a 16-10 opening win against the number 10 team in the country, Colorado Mesa, which just shows what this team is capable of. Couldn't see it last season, unfortunately, due to the season being short and only being able to play 5 games. And I talked to Coach Lang about that, and he understood that it's a difficult thing to have to try to adjust to, but he also understands that it's not just a Lindenwood problem, it's a problem for every team in the nation to try to adjust to the crazy times we've been living in the past 365 days. So both teams coming back out now. It's been an excellent showing in the back for both sides. Nolan with multiple key saves for Lindenwood. He's got 8 on the game on the other side. Sam Huff with 13 in comparison to the 6 goals he's allowed. So there's 10 seconds left just about here in this first half as Quincy will have the possession. Morano stands on the near hash mark at the 45. Just enough time to maybe get one more chance off if you're Lindenwood, but they'll let the clock expire instead. 6-2 is the Lions lead, the number 14 team in the nation, defending that ranking so far here in their season opener at Hunter Stadium. They have the 4-goal lead. Collins has 2, Jones has 1, as well as Horseman, Covington, and Corker. So with a 4-goal lead, we'll take a break and bring you the second half of action from Hunter Stadium in a few right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network.
Lions, what's up? It's a beautiful day here in St. Charles, and right now we're on campus in the Reynolds dorm about to give you a dorm tour in 2 minutes or less. First, to get things started, I thought it might be nice to add that decorating your dorm room doesn't have to be expensive. Lots of places like Bed Bath & Beyond have discounts for college students, including a checklist to help you remember what to bring and what not to forget. When you arrive at Lindenwood, you will notice that you are provided with a desk, a chair, and a bed. Bed risers are not something you must buy when you move here. Even on the highest level that you can change your bed to, you can still fit the dresser that Lindenwood provides you underneath. Being from out of state, I brought a lot of items to put on my wall to make me feel more at home. In the dorm, we're not allowed to put nails or screws into the walls, so believe it or not, these are all held up by command strips. Here in Reynolds, we are provided with our own laundry room, but if you're in a dorm that does not have its own, always remember that Evans has plenty of washers and dryers for students on campus. A personal refrigerator is something you will want to have. It's perfect for storing snacks, drinks, and anything of the sorts, just like frozen fruits or my smoothies. Before we go, I thought I'd give a few helpful tips. Don't forget extension cords because you will definitely need those with the spaced out outlets on the wall. Space-saving hangers are a gift of a genius when you can't decide which clothes to bring from home, like me. When you're buying sheets, don't forget that your beds are twin XL, so make sure you get the right size so they fit. Also, if you wake up in the morning and can't get through your day without a cup of coffee, don't be scared to bring a coffee maker. I don't drink coffee, so I brought a smoothie maker. But if you have time, don't forget to stop by the Starbucks located in the Lark. Alright Lions, thanks for listening in. And don't forget, here at Lindenwood, real experience, real success.
I chose to come to Lindenwood because everybody I met was so inviting, and the professor I met with just made me feel like I was supposed to be here.
Coming in as a veteran, the VA coordinator here made this transition to being here at Lindenwood an easy and seamless one.
I got here, did the tour, it had everything I wanted. I enrolled immediately once I got back home.
Seeing the space and being like, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to perform, that just kind of sealed the deal for me.
One of my favorite things about being on campus is how everyone's together. I love that there's always an opportunity to do something new.
Living in a dormitory here on campus, like each floor is their own little neighborhood. There's so much community throughout those floors that one night you could be doing trivia, but the other night they could also have a yoga class scheduled.
I work in the residential life office, so I get to help students kind of figure out housing.
I work here on campus as a student employee with our Advancements and Communications office, and that gives me a lot of real-life experience while applying my schoolwork to that.
The way that Lindenwood gives me my real experience is a lot of the professors are people who have recently been or are still in the industry.
We have people that have designed for Broadway. We have people that have stage managed big equity shows, and they kind of give us that insider knowledge on what we need to do to be successful in the industry.
All my professors are great. When I have an issue or if I have difficulty with an idea, a lot of times I can go to them and they will give me another angle to approach it and make it better.
All of my classes are really catered towards making sure I'm going to fit in wherever I go. The challenging parts about those classes, they're getting me ready for nursing school afterwards, and I just feel like I'm so prepared.
I feel like I've gotten really good at being self-sufficient, so the idea of living on my own after graduation isn't that scary now.
The experience that I really want to gain from being here at Lindenwood is real-world situations that I think even just in my first semester being here I've gotten. Sets me up for life after Lindenwood.
That's what I'm here for. That is the experience, and I can take all of these tools. I can take tools I've learned last week and take them into an audition now. I think that's amazing, and I really think that's, what we're here to do.
And there's so many stories that you get an internship, and as soon as you graduate, you're offered a job right off the bat to be able to get into the advertising world before I get out into the world. So I have a little backpack that has all the things I need to succeed out there.
I think that's been the thing that has been so amazing and so surprising about Lindenwood is that they just want me to give my all when I'm there, and that's all they ask for. And that's kind of helped me improve as a person, improve as an academic, and it's really cool to experience that.
I would say that the best part about St. Charles is it's a big city with a small city feel. So being at Lindenwood, I just really feel like I'm in more of a community, whereas in St. Louis, I didn't like the hustle and bustle of being downtown. St. Louis, it's only about 20 to 30 minute drive depending on traffic.
Being a student at Lindenwood University, we're about a 20 to 30 minute drive away from Forest Park, and what's convenient about that is there's running trails, there's a golf course, and there's a zoo that's free to the public as well. You'll spend less time trying to figure out what to do, and you can just go over there and pick and choose from the 500 acres of space there is.
So there is a hockey team, Major League Baseball, so there's a lot of fun stuff down there. There's always some event happening downtown, but also just in the general St. Charles area. There's food, shopping, all that good stuff. There's a mall just right down the street, but there's also Main Street that has family-owned boutiques and family-owned food places. So it's really nice to kind of be able to get the sense of small town, but also the sense of a suburban area.
Here there's group workouts, there's saunas, there's spas, there's a lot more stuff that you can really get out in the community and do. Sugar Fire is my favorite restaurant. I eat there probably twice a week, no joke. Mod Pizza is an all-time favorite. There's always new restaurants to try. You're never going to get burnt out.
I was born and raised in St. Charles. Always was in the area, so it was really nice being able to come to school that's nearby home, being able to go home and see my puppy all the time. It's really nice to be able to do that, but also you get that sense of independence just because you aren't living at home.
Well, I was born in Honduras. Here in Lindenwood, there's a very wide variety of people from all over the world, so you end up meeting people from every single culture. So the people that you end up meeting here, they're going to be your family. They're going to be the ones you reach out whenever you're sick, whenever you're in trouble, whenever you're struggling with classes.
So I'm from Boise, Idaho, and the one thing that compares St. Louis area to Boise is the fact that it's so historic and it's very easy to get around and find things to do. It's a very comfortable place to be, and that's what I really enjoy about the campus life itself.
I just got an internship at Edward Jones, and they said that it was really nice that I had a Spanish major and I was going to be bilingual because they were looking to expand in some Spanish-speaking countries, and they were really looking for people that could bring that to them.
So I'm doing this Linden Teach program because it seemed like a really great way to get experience and still have a mentor there to guide me.
Now since I got into this major and I met my professors who, I usually take the same class with the same professors, and I really like it now. I like coming to class. They're just very skilled in what they do. They know public health very well.
I've been able to tell jobs hey, I have the skills I need from both practical and analytical in order to figure out how to solve a problem, and then just my other experiences at Lindenwood had given me the tools to manage and lead teams. And putting these all together, it's helped me really develop a strong resume.
And a lot of times people kind of grow into principalship when they've taught for a while, but I came in knowing that that's what I really wanted to do. The process in terms of defending my dissertation, it really just made me feel unstoppable. I moved up from classroom teacher to assistant principal, from assistant principal to head principal. So
education is one of the greatest gifts someone can receive. So I'm really thankful. I love it here. I feel like I've made great friends. Lindenwood has given me so many opportunities, and I'm really blessed that I chose to come here.
Some advice I would have for somebody that's starting college is to definitely get involved. My freshman year, I got involved in cheerleading and I got involved in Greek life. I never thought I was going to be a collegiate athlete. My team won nationals this past school year, so now I'm a national champion, and I have no idea how this happened.
My freshman year, we got second at nationals, which was a pretty big deal, actually. The trophy is right there, the last one. So I was able to be a part of that team, and I did really good.
Be confident, try to be involved, because that's where.
And we're back here at Hunter Stadium for the start of the second half. It's Dominic Kosher on the Lindenwood Sports Network at 6-2. Lions lead as the number 14 team in the country has the 4-goal advantage over the Quincy Hawks. It's a cold day in St. Charles, but both teams back on there, and another half on the way. Lions allowed a goal early on in the game. It was a man down goal allowed to Jamie Brain, who had 2 goals for Quincy. He has both of them so far, but Lions responded nicely to scoring the next 5 goals in the game before Brain was able to get back on the board. He has the most recent goal in the contest. In terms of the goalies, Huff for Quincy, 13 saves, 6 goals allowed. On the other side, Blake Nolan, he's played well so far, 8 saves and just 2 goals allowed. So Lions will be moving from left to right. On the other side, Quincy moving the opposite way. Hawks will have the first possession here in this third quarter. Need a response early, try to get the momentum. The Lions bench has been lively and up on their feet for a majority of this game, and now they're all jumping and trying to get loose, as maybe that's another technique to try to get warm. Who knows? They're back to the 30. They move it all the way around Quincy. Looking for a response to try to cut the lead to 3. On the far side, losing the handle of it, been able to pick it back up. Preston Blowman, we've said his name a few times so far, hasn't done anything in terms of getting on the score sheet in terms of goals or assists, but still has had a couple good moments so far. It's all the way back to the near side again with Woodworth. Brain. He's currently staying on the very far hash mark around the 25. As they move it inside, nothing there. Now a second chance. Cutting his way through and getting the shot off. It was an excellent effort by Neil Dardis. With multiple Lindenwood defenders around him, still able to cut his way through. 4 seconds left on the shot clock once he has to hurry. Now 2 seconds left. They lose their footing, and a penalty is called on Collins. And Coach Lang obviously displeased with that one. Just a second left on the shot clock, and they're going to call a penalty against Lindenwood. It'll be Collins' second. He's unhappy with the call as well, but Quincy gets their second chance that they needed that time. They were running out of room, running out of time, but they lost their footing on the near side, and it led to the foul infraction being called. I have to wait and see what the official call is and for how long Collins will come off. So he'll be off for 30 seconds. Call for pushing. Quincy's going to have to move quickly this time if they want to try to make up for their 4-goal deficit. Marano. He moves it into the middle. Doing a good job this time of reading the Lions' defense. Now on the near hash mark over to the far side again. Dardis. Now behind the goal. To Marano. Marano cuts his way in. Good pass outside, but they couldn't just bring it in that time. Willman was the free attacker on the far side. They couldn't score, though. Now the Lions. Plenty of speed down the middle. Here they come with Rusk. All the way outside. Across the middle. And Covington, with that ball going, looks like the official says it did not. Premature celebration by the Lindenwood supporters as it was a good effort. Covington got just a little bit of a deflection, but it must have never gone in all the way. So, unlucky break that time for Covington. What an attack led by Rusk that time on the counter. All the way up. What a pass that was by Marano. He was able to launch Woodworth up the field, and Woodworth operates on the near side. Back to Marano he goes. 12:27 left to go here in the third quarter. No goal scoring yet in the quarter. So a lot of time left to go in it. On the left. Now he moves it over to his right and passes it all the way across. Willman. Bit of a diving stop there, but it might end up being a turnover. Good pressure by Alex Eubank to force that one free as Quincy wasn't able to bring it in. Lions like doing this a lot. They move it quickly. Now Jones, and that pass was just a little bit behind him. Now he regains possession. Jones, between the hash marks at the 35, gives it off to Covington. Covington already has 1 goal in the game. Gives it off to the one with 2 goals on the contest, and Collins. While Collins has plenty of stats to go along with his name so far as a Lion, it's not just about the stats to him, and it really doesn't make too much of a difference to him. He said in an interview earlier on in the week, he's not concerned with the numbers, but the team's success instead as he launches that one into the top left corner, and while he might not care about the stats too much, he might care about this one. He has a hat trick early on in the third quarter. Lions lead 7-2 as Collins gets his third. Talked about it earlier as Lang labeled him as one of the top midfielders in the entire country, and for a team in the top 15 in the nation as well. Collins certainly playing like it in his first game of the season against this Quincy team. Lions lead by 5, 11:20 left to go in the third quarter. Off the draw, ref blows his whistle. It'll be a Quincy possession going the other way. As they announce the goal scorer and the cheer by the Lindenwood fans in attendance. The assist went to Corker. Now here come the Lions on the counter again. Lots of speed behind this one. Preston moves it into the middle. Collins. And he'll slow things down. He has Jones on the very far side. And a couple of flags come out. One on the far and near ends of the field. But the Lions will keep their possession going as this will be against Quincy. So Lions have an opportunity here. On the near side, it's held by Horseman, who has 1 goal so far today. Far side of the field again, it's Glazier. Glazier keeps his eyes in the middle. Now makes a run. He has an open option in the center. It was Horseman. That pass a little bit wide, and now the refs will be able to stop the play with 10-12 left to go in the third. So a couple players come off, get a rest, Horseman being one of them. He's been busy so far. 1 goal on 6 shots. That's the second most on the team behind Carter Collins, who has 3 goals on 7 shots. He has it on the very far side, Leonard Jones, who now moves to the 45. We'll see what Jones can do this time around. So far, no goals in the game for Jones, but he does have 1 assist. And now he holds it back at the 25, moves it to the near side. They said the penalty was an offside against Woodworth. So Lions for 30 seconds have a chance to extend their lead. Jones to Collins. Already has 3 in the game. Off to Jones, and Jones tries to get his first. Saved by Huff. Now here comes Quincy the other way. It's been a slow start here in the second half for him. On the offensive end, just cannot build up a possession. They had the very first possession of the half with a man advantage, but couldn't find the back of the net there. Haven't been able to do so far in the third quarter. Here's Collins. Lines up the shot, and Collins fires it wide. Another good chance for Carter Collins. Collins, a senior from Prior Lake, Minnesota. He stands on the far side as they make a move towards goal, and that low-driven shot on the left side finds its way into the back of the net. It's Rob Tucker who extends the Lions' lead to 8-2. All it took was 1 to open the scoring for Lindenwood as opportunity after opportunity arise here in their season and home opener. They have a 6-goal lead, and Quincy just unable to find a response in the most recent minutes. Tough challenge for them to start the season, having to travel to St. Charles and face one of the top 15 teams in the nation and in the Lindenwood Lions, who come in at 14. And improving that ranking. So under 9 minutes left to go as Tucker is announced as the goal scorer, his first of the season. Lions 8th. Team that averaged, as we talked about earlier, around 17 goals a contest. Not struggling to score so far today. Collins gets a rest, as well as Tucker. Quincy in possession. They have it right behind the goal of Nolan. Good ball movement to get it outside. Gage Evans, first time we've said his name today. A 6-foot freshman midfielder from Littleton, Colorado. As going down to the turf, right behind his goal was Nolan. 25 seconds left on the shot clock as Quincy hands it over to the near side. Held by Woodworth. Tardis doesn't have a goal to show for so far, but has been an effective player, has been fearless in terms of attack, and has taken on numerous Lindenwood defenders despite maybe being outnumbered. That time the pass was behind him. He shoved down to the ground. Nothing called that time, and maybe disagreement on the Quincy side. Lindenwood moves quickly. Underneath pass. Covington with the good look, and when he gets a chance like that, unlikely he's going to miss it. 9-2 is the Lions' lead, and Peter Covington, he gets his second of the game. And that'll take us to a stoppage of play. 9-2, the Lindenwood lead after Covington was able to find the back of the net. 7 minutes and 29 seconds left to go here in the third quarter of the season opener. We'll take a quick break and be back with you right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Peter Covington has the most recent goal in this one. 9-2 is the Lindenwood lead. A thunderous start to the second half for Lindenwood. So they've scored 3 consecutive goals and have given themselves a 7-goal advantage with 7:29 left to go in the third. This is Dominic Kosher on the Lindenwood Sports Network. And Covington, what a player he's been for Lindenwood. Last season he started and played in all 5 games for Lindenwood. Was the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week after a big day on February 15th when he put up a big performance against Mars Hill. Was also named to the USILA Team of the Week twice during last season's campaign in just 5 weeks. Who knows what his number could have been in a larger and regular season for Lindenwood. This year they only will be playing GLVC teams. First one, of course, being here against Quincy. The regular season will run all the way to May 1st when Lions take on Rockers. So it'll be a good contest as Quincy lines up a shot, and that one's going to be saved by Nolan. GLVC tournament starts on May 7th, and that's a Friday. That's the semifinals of the GLVC tournament, and then the championship game on Sunday. Both games to be held at Hunter Stadium. So while the Lions have a 9-2 lead, 6:45 left to go in the third quarter, weren't picked as the favorites in the conference, weren't picked as the second best team in the conference either, according to the GLVC preseason poll. Number 1 was the University of Indianapolis, and then Rockhurst was number 2. Jones lined up that shot, a good effort again, but it goes out of play. First time Lindenwood will meet with either of those two teams will be on March 13th here at home against the University of Indianapolis before going on the road the very next week to play against the Rockers, two of the top teams in the conference, as that preseason poll indicated. It's a bit of a rocket coming from the near side. Good shot that time, first of the game for Jonathan Schlapper, and trying to force a turnover is Leonard Jones, applying all the pressure on Huff, who's way out of his goal. He's on the far side and moves it into the middle, risky play, but he's able to escape with no harm, no foul. Last I'll say, while the preseason poll, and it would receive 2 first-place votes as well, as they'll try to possibly overtake the favored Indy and Rockers. Indy, the higher-ranked team in the nation. Rockers a little bit below Lindenwood. All 3 teams, however, in the top 25. Morano takes on Cole Trullander. Physical defense by him, but a low shot save made by Nolan as the officials blow their whistle. Morano has been dangerous for a majority of this game so far. That time one of his best chances yet, as he was able to get free in the center. That save was Nolan's 10th of the game. It's only allowed 2 goals. A strong opening performance. Let's start off the 2021 campaign. Under 5 minutes left to go in the third. Lions with a 7-goal lead. Behind the goal held by Brain. Still has the only 2 goals of the game so far. The freshman for the Hawks. Already impressing in his Hawks debut. Morano, he lost it on the near side. Picked up by Trullander. and he take a hard hit. Actually, it was Brian Kahlberg, and an easy call that time is right when Kahlberg was able to collect it, took a heavy hit, able to get right back up and receive some kudos from his Lion teammates. Collins comes over to pick it up, and he'll have it on the near side. So Lions had a penalty called against Leonard Jones. It was a slashing call, so he's sitting for a minute. We'll have to see what comes next in terms of Quincy, as they have a man come over and sit. It looks to be Morano. So Morano's call for the cross check. Rather, Jamie Brain and Morano have to come over and watch as well, so both of them off. Linwood with the attack. That shot a little bit wide. It was Corker again on the opportunity. On the far side, Corker is free, and he gets the ball now and starts to make a move towards goal. Corker on his right, now moves it to his left. Good pass to Collins, who lost his footing. Able to regain his balance, and now Jones, after a minute off the field, he's able to come back on, and a shot from Corker went right at Huff. He made the save. So Lions have Jones back out there after he was called for slashing. He stands at the center Lions logo. Quincy with possession as Huff is once again way out of his goal. He was standing at the 40. 3:38 now left in the third. Lions with aggressive defense on the far side. As Brain's able to pass it off. Now to the near end, and they move it all the way around. Quincy hasn't scored since late in the second quarter. They had the last goal of the first half to make it a 4-goal game. Haven't found the back of the net since. It's been all Linwood ever since that goal went in. Dardis. That took a deflection, and the Lions bench, they love that play by Kahlberg. Here comes Collins. A bit of a collision near the center. Nothing called. Collins lines up the shot, now passes it behind Jones. Frustration that time for Collins as he had Jones wide open. Who knows what it could have come next. So 2:35 left to go in the third as Quincy moves it around the back. Kovac-Lang savvy with the squad coming into the season, and like we mentioned earlier, it was a bit of a journey to get back to this point and just be able to play again. And when the team got sent back, just to keep this team kind of in the loop and in shape, their strength and conditioning coach sent videos that the men's team could do in terms of their workouts and they could do from their living room. That helped them get through some of the spring and some of the summer too. By the summer, they were able to get back into the gym. Here comes Linwood on the attack. That gym being back in their hometowns as Jones takes it a little bit outside. By the time the team was able to get back to Linwood in the fall, they were able to get into the weight room, but in split numbers. And then in terms of getting back on the field, maybe an even longer journey there. First had to play in pods and then sizes of 10. They got a little bit later raised to 12. And by winter break came, they were finally able to practice in full capacity. That was a good shot from the outside by Glazier. Save again by Huff. So that came right before winter break, and now here they are playing their first game of the season. Putting that all behind them and finally being able to get back on the field and defend their number 14 team ranking. Under a minute left to go here in the third. Covington, lots of room at the top, and that shot was destined for the bottom right corner, but Huff again with the denial, make that 20 saves for Huff. So the Hawks have it. 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Can they find a response just before the quarter ends and just try to get at least a little bit of momentum heading into the final quarter of play? It's Jamie Brain. Just 20 seconds now left as Brain starts to make his run. Takes on one Lindenwood defender. Brain all the way through. A good, accurate shot, but it was saved in the end by the Lindenwood goalkeeper again. That was Blake Nolan. Here come the Lions. On the counter, they dump it off. That pass off the stick. 1 second left, and that's how the third quarter ends. It was all Lindenwood for a majority of those 15 minutes of play. They lead 9-2. We'll take a break and bring you the fourth in a few right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network.
Hey, my name is Brian, and this is my real life at Lindenwood.
This is where I get to learn.
This is where I live. This is where I perform.
This is where I hang.
And this is where real life opportunity knocks. This is real life at Lindenwood.
The thing that has been so amazing about Lindenwood is they just want me to give my all, and that's all they ask for. And that's helped me improve as a person, improve as an academic, and it's really cool to experience that.
The experience that I really want to gain from being here at Lindenwood is real-world situations that even just in my first semester being here, I've gotten.
That's what I'm here for. That is the experience. I can take tools I've learned last week and take them into an audition now. I think that's amazing, and I really think that's what we're here to do.
Just one more quarter to play here in the 2021 season home opener from Hunter Stadium. It's Dominic Oster on the Lindenwood Sports Network. A 9-2 Lions lead as the number 14 team in the nation with a 7-goal advantage against the Quincy Hawks here on a cold night and afternoon from St. Charles, Missouri. So it's all Lindenwood here in the third quarter. Multiple goal scorers. Collins able to get his third. His first goal of the season, now his first hat trick of the season too. And all it took was less than 3 quarters of one game to get to that mark. He leads the way in terms of all goal scorers in this game. Quincy's had a solid effort from Jamie Breen on the other side. He has 2 goals, but it's been mainly Huff who's kept them at least somewhat in this game. 20 saves, 9 goals allowed. It's been an all-around solid day for him. On the other side, Nolan, 11 saves on just 2 goals allowed. When his number's been called, Nolan's been able to step up. So they put the ball in the middle for the opening draw of the fourth. It's won by Murano. And Quincy has started every quarter in this game with possession. Murano. Morano has his back towards the goal, takes on Jung, lost his footing. Ref says play on, and all-around solid play that time by Jung. Now here comes Lindenwood on the counter again. They move it across the 40, now back towards Collins. Collins. To Quirker. He's got Jones in front of him, and he goes that way. Jones, another player, and of course, Coach Lang has a lot of highs praise for. Does it all as Collins' shot goes just all over the bar. Another good effort by him, but what he likes about Jones is his ability just to attract so much attention from the defenders, just in this case. He had 3 defenders at one point, all trying to close in. One of them backed off, so it was right around just 2 defenders, but still frees up someone else, and that's just what kind of attention a player of Jones' capability is able to bring. That shot's low between the legs and into the back of the net. Lions have their 10th of the day, and they have an 8-goal lead as Rob Tucker finds the back of the net again. with 13:33 left to go. So Lindenwood with yet another one. What a big day it's been for this Lions team, and expect nothing less in their opener. Morano wins the draw and is on the very far side. He tries to beat his man, and now we'll slow things down and wait to see what kind of impact Stamina has this slide into the contest. So they gave Tucker the goal. That's his second. Covington with the assist. He continues his big performance. Covington has already scored himself. He has 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. So another stoppage of play. 13 minutes left to go in the game. 10-2 Lions lead. We'll take another break. Be back with you here in the fourth on the Lindenwood Sports Network.
Off the field or off the court, before and after the game. The preparations, the gear, the uniforms. It's a lot to manage, organize, and secure. Your athletic gear demands storage that's designed, tested, and built to endure. One company has taken lockers and storage solutions to the next level. For functionality, durability, sanitation, security, and team pride, we are GearBoss.
National leadership is treating you like a pro. Every day, team physicians from Barnes Jewish and Washington University work to keep our St. Louis Blues healthy and on the ice. This same commitment to excellence is what you can expect when injuries interrupt your life. Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedics. Be treated like a pro.
13 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 10-2 Lions lead over the Quincy Hawks from Hunter Stadium. Dominic Oster on the Lindenwood Sports Network. Lions' most recent goal was an assist by Covington, and the goal came with about 13 minutes and 20-something seconds left, and it was scored by Tucker. That was his second. Lions have been all over Quincy in the second half, who still are yet to find the back of the net, and a Pete Nolan, who now has 11 saves on the afternoon. Snow continues to fall from St. Charles as it's cold down there, as that ball goes a little bit loose, and it will be a turnover. That's turnover number 22 on the game right after Quincy called the timeout. So it goes to Nolan, and Nolan will take it away. So Nolan last year in goal, we kind of talked about his numbers earlier. He played 2 games, allowed 3 goals in those 2 games, had 5 saves total, and 11 tonight in the start. So a big day in goal for Lindenwood. Jones has it for the Lions, moves it back. Got to cut to the outside. Covington trying to find his third. He's done it all today, making his impact known on the offensive end, showing off his playmaking skills along with his ability to finish with his 2 goals and 2 assists. Jamie Brain. With an 8-goal deficit, it'll be tough to mount a comeback in this one if you're Quincy, but trying to get some moral victories before this one might come to an end, and one of them could be getting Jamie Brain his 3rd goal, the freshman, making his debut. And what a debut would it be for him if he was able to notch a hat trick against a top 15 team in the nation. Lindenwood moves it to the near side, and a bit of a loose possession by Eubank. He's able to regain the ball and pass it up to Collins. Collins scoops it, and there goes his speed yet again. Collins showed it off and has a defender coming from the back and took the collision, and the entirety of the Lindenwood bench wants a call as Collins stays down around the 34. don't see a flag. You'd have to think there would be something. There is now one official comes over, and it'll go against Quincy. Collins able to get right back up afterwards as they come over. I have to wait and see who that was on. Under 11 minutes left to go now in the fourth as Coach Lang has a discussion with the official on the near side. They called Quan on the push that time. He's off for 30 seconds. Linwood, another man advantage. Back. Now the shot, and it's goal number 11 on the day for Lindenwood, and Corker's third. He has a hat trick, and the Lions continue to put the finishing touches on this one with 10:47 left to go. So the big second half continues for Lindenwood. Not much, if anything, has gone wrong for this team in the final 2 quarters of play. And still, with time left to go, they have the 11-2 lead. Tucker starts this season off in a big way with 3 goals. That assist came from Corker as Lindenwood continues to add on. Now they have the possession on the far side. What a big day it's been for Tucker. Lions have the ball again, move it to the far side, and getting some fresh legs into the game as a shot takes a deflection off the goalkeeper and Huff and regained it on the far side and somehow able to keep his balance was Alex Weiss, and now they move to the near side. Moving over on the near and takes on 2 defenders and did it well. That's Mason Homer. Now they move it back all the way to the far end of the field, held by Lindenwood. Good cut inside. Trying to get some players off the bench more involved and potentially add them to the stat sheet too. It's Strauss who's into the game. Coulter Strauss, a 5'8" redshirt senior midfielder from Lawrence, Kansas, getting some playing time in this game against Quincy, where Lindenwood has the big 9-goal advantage. 9:30 left to go here in the fourth. Jung in defense. Lions still have some veteran defenders out there as other starters get rest. Jung being one of them. Eubank, another, who stands on the near side. It's behind the goal. However, Quincy has it with Willman. I've said Willman's name a lot. Lions have done a good job of limiting him. Has 3 shots, but no goals or assists to show for it. Then they lose possession. Again, defensively, Lindenwood has come to their own here in this second half. They allowed 2 goals to Jamie Brain in the first half. Haven't had a miscue since then, forcing consistent turnovers and not allowing too many good goal-scoring opportunities on the Quincy side. So Jones, Covington, and Collins get a rest. They've done their part so far today. Collins with 3 goals, tie for the team lead. As they move it into the middle of that pass, bit of a miscommunication as Lindenwood was able to storm back and get it again. It's with Weiss. He has it on his left side. This would make Lindenwood 1-0. They started 5-0 last season, 5-0 the season before. As they'll, of course, be looking to do the same, if not better, as that shot was easily saved by Huff. He launches it forward, just over the head again of a Quincy player. After this game, Lindenwood is on the road for a couple games in a row. They play on consecutive Saturdays, one against Davenport in Indianapolis. That's on February 13th, next Saturday. Then they're at Maryville on February 20th. Seven minutes left to go. Lions just looking to finish this one off and extend their lead. Move it into the middle, good chance. And a good goal again for Lindenwood. It's Adrian Thompson, the sophomore attacker from Illinois, who makes it a 10-goal game. The goal scoring doesn't stop for Lindenwood, even with reserves into the game and giving bench players involved too. They still find ways to get more goals on the board. They have a 12-2 lead, 6:55 remaining now here in the fourth. As Thompson's announced, the sophomore we talked about last year appeared in 4 games for Lindenwood, scored his first career goal in Lindenwood's last game of the 2020 season against Maryville on March 8th. He had 2 assists overall on the season for Lindenwood, so the sophomore was effective. That shot goes in, and Morano gets a much-deserved goal. He's been active all game long for the Hawks. And he makes it a 12-3 ball game with 6:25 left to go here in the fourth. So Lions lead cut down to 9, but they'll still take the strong day and with some second team players in. Won't hurt too much other than the stat sheet. At the end, Quincy trying to win the draw as both teams battle for it in the middle, and lots of contact and still no comfortable possession. And now the officials blow their whistle. It'll be Quincy ball, or rather Lindenwood possession. Now it goes to the near side, and we'll see if Thompson can continue adding on to this Lions lead and try to regain the 10-goal advantage, which was, of course, their largest of the game. That shot, oof. That one might have been a little bit too high. With 5:50 left to go, Lindenwood now with Thompson behind. He couldn't get around his defender, and it'll be Quincy ball. Good defending that time by the Hawks with their backs against the wall. So as the Hawks are on the attack, Lindenwood with the all-around solid, say Lace's strong lacrosse program, both on the women's side and the men's side. Lindenwood's men's team came into the game with the number 14 record. We'll see how much they can improve on that with a top 15 ranking in the country. The women's team, the number 1 team in the nation, as Jack Ribben's squad gears up for another strong season. They start their year on February 20th at Northern Michigan before coming home the following Saturday against Regis University. So 2 talented lacrosse teams with plenty of upside and potential heading into the 2021 season. Lindenwood passes it back. Under 5 minutes left to go now here in the fourth. They have it behind the goal, and that shot went wide, getting some contact after he let that one fly. It was Strauss, which remains with Lindenwood. After this game for Quincy, they have Lewis next Saturday when they have their home opener as Lindenwood gets another one. They have a 10-goal lead, top left corner. Jacob Van Gleek with the goal, and it's 13-3, 4:28 left to go in the fourth. Another quick answer by the Lions. Van Clee comes over to the bench and celebrates with the other Lion teammates as they continue their big day. Like I was mentioning, Quincy comes home on February 13th, next Saturday, for their home opener against Lewis as they look for a response before having that tough contest on the road at Rockhurst on February 20th. Per game last season, we talked about earlier, 17 goals a game. That's a little bit below their average, but happy with the way this team started defensively, allowing just under 9 goals a contest last year. Only 3 goals allowed tonight. Big step up on the defensive end as Nolan has it. What vision that time by Nolan to find his man all the way down the field. These Lindenwood players, they don't care what the score is or how much time is left. They're still trying to add on with a lot of bench players in. Everyone else getting well-deserved rest. And this is just showing the strong depth of this Lions team. Thompson and others all being able to score. Good save that time by Huff. Now 24 on the evening. Far side, Quincy has it, and I mentioned trying to get more possible moral victories on the game. Jamie Brain remains out there for the Hawks. Morano, too. One of the players getting some rest is Dardis, who's had a strong game off the stat sheet, but has made at least a little bit of an impact in terms of creating and playmaking, even if there aren't any goals to show for it. Ball rolls all the way out to the near side, and Lindenwood has another possession. Time winding down. 2:30 left to go. It'll be another good start. Lindenwood starting 1-0 on the season before they go on the road. Lions have it again near side. Can they get possibly one more? It's Rusk, who's had a couple good moments in this game. That one may be one of his better ones. That shot was low, but another good save. And while Huff is not afraid to come out of that crease in front of his goal, and that time had Lindenwood players all around him, did not matter to him. Jamie Brain tries to regain the possession for the Hawks. Under 2 minutes now left to go. 13-3 is the score. Lindenwood had 7 assists in this game. A stat that Coach Lang will like, but maybe try to improve even more so on. Last year, in just 5 games, the team had 57 assists, according to the stat sheet, and in comparison, their opponents, just 18. So this team on sync with each other as Thompson lost his footing, got shut from the back, had a clear chance right in front of the goal. And with 1:13 left to go, clock stops right there as another penalty is called. And the starters come back out for Lindenwood. And after a penalty like that, it looks like the Lions have a chance at one more with the likes of Jones, Collins, and then on the far side, Corker and Covington on there. We're out there, and then Rob Tucker with his 3 goals. So the possession will start on the near side with Andrew Haas. Haven't said his name too much in this one. He's gotten plenty of rest with the Lions' big lead, but can certainly make an impact anytime he's on the field with his attacking mindset, his intelligent IQ. Every time he steps on the Lindenwood turf. Jones to Collins. Collins lines up a shot and Carter Collins with his 4th of the evening. Lindenwood has a 14-3 lead. He comes back in within seconds, is able to score again. That one, you'd love to see the speed behind a shot like that one. Not much Huff can do on goal. So now the starters come back over, and after the man advantage, so the penalty was called on a coin. It was a 30-second one for pushing. Lions were able to bring back out their top offensive weapons, and predictably, with all the rest they've had in the most recent minutes of this game, were able to respond. So all around, plenty of good days to go around for the Lions. Collins was assisted by Leonard Jones. Jones didn't score in this one, but he did have 2 assists. More of the same for Leonard Jones here today. 15 seconds left to go. We'll see if the Lions try to get maybe one more chance on goal. That's what they're looking likely to do when they take the shot. Winchester wide. Van Cleek, who has the goal today, let that one go wide. 5 seconds left. Linwood picks it up, and the whistle blows. They're taking it towards goal. Maybe one final opportunity. It goes wide again. They stop the clock with 0.7 left, just to create a little bit of anxiety. As soon as this whistle blows, the game will be over. 14-3 is the Linwood win. Carter Collins leads the way with 4 goals on the day. Corker had 3 behind him, or Rob Tucker rather, and multiple other players on the board to go along with it. Jones with his 2 assists, Horseman, Covington, and others. Lions improved to 1-0. They'll be on the road next week against Davenport. They don't come back here at home until March 6th against Lewis. But another winning start. They start 1-0 in their season opener of 2021. So that does it here from Hunter. This was Dominic Osher. Thank you for tuning in right here on the Lindenwood Sports Network.